I'm going to do is I'm going to use this space right here as best as I can. I'm making some changes to my study sheet, so I'm going to get rid of utilities for now because I don't need that. These are called amortization tables. Okay, so I also noticed that printing this is probably not a good idea on there, but it is what it is. So if you have a table, for the most part, it's going to be payment number, then you're going to have the monthly payment, then you're going to have the interest, then you're going to have principal. And you're going to have the unpaid balance. Let me zoom into that. Okay. So one thing you need to know, we're going to have two rows here. Okay, so let's say this is month number 1, month number 2. And I will just have, I will call this PMT for payment. This will be lowercase I for interest. This will be lowercase p. And unpaid balance. And this is where you need to revise your study sheets because this is probably not the prettiest, right? So I would like sit down at some point and make it look nice, but at least you have the main idea. Okay? So how do you get this?
Room and pickup for glass broken outside of room 48, a custodian to room 48.
So how do you get this? You basically add I and P together to get that. Okay? That's the formula. How do you get your interest? You go payment minus, right? You take the payment minus the principal to find this one. How do you get this one? You take your payment minus the interest. But this one is tricky. Okay, this one this one is sometimes has a different scenario. Okay. Unpaid balance 1. Let's call this unpaid balance 1. Okay. That's hiccups. 2. Sometimes to find this one right here, you go unpaid balance 1 minus unpaid balance 2. Right? So that's sometimes what you need to do. You need to subtract these two to find like how much did I go down by. Okay, so unpaid balance 1 minus unpaid balance 2, if you subtract them, you get this. Okay? And so that's why I would have two rows, because sometimes you need to resort to this one, sometimes you need to resort to that one. It depends on how much information is given. And one more thing I would like to say is stays the same. Stays the same. Okay, payment should stay the same. This one drops. This one increases. So this one goes down, this one goes up, like the principal slowly goes up. What about the unpaid balance? What happens to it over time? Down, right? The unpaid balance should be going down. Payment stays the same. So this stays the same. This one drops. This one goes up. So that's a pattern you should observe. This is exactly the same for vehicle finance. Okay? If you do vehicle finance, if there's one of these, and you will show me whether or not you understand this in a bit. Okay, so it's in your best interest to write this down somewhere. And I will also add a bit more. I was looking at my study sheet and I'm thinking, some of you might miss things if you're not specific, okay? I sometimes tend to, I probably lack specificity on my study sheet because I know what I see when I read that, but you might not think the same way, and I don't blame you, okay? Can I move this? Okay, you can always take a picture of this. I would like you to go to land transfer tax. If you have land transfer tax, we're going through the 30, 60, 60, 50, over, it just says over, times 0.02. I would say over 200,000. Right? If you're over 200,000, you pay 2% flat. Okay, so that's something to remember. And notice what I did on the side here. I don't know if I added this with you or did it later, that if you go through the 4 numbers, guys, which is going to be the case if you're having something more than $200,000. If you go through these 4, it always adds up to $1,650 because you max out in every single of these brackets, right? So basically, if you know that it's $1,650 for the first 200,000, anything over 200,000 gets taxed 2%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that this part right here is 200,000. So if you've been adding to your study sheet the way I have, I would make a note that these 4 numbers make up the first $200,000 of the value of your property, okay? And go with that. Okay, that's it for now. Did we do the odd case insurance? You remember the special cases for insurance? Some of you are nodding. When you are like, you're claim free the first year, you get a discount. Second year, but then you do make a claim. If you make a claim, you have to add the deductible to the total cost because you're going to pay the deductible. Okay. All right.